Hey, good morning. Thank you for joining us for the first CCRI Virtual Pathdays. And right now we are going to hear from Rhode Island College about transferring there if you are a CCRI Communication, Media, and Film student. So I'd like to turn it over to Lucy Saunders from RIC. We have you on mute right now, Lucy.
Hello.
There you go.
Thank you for coming today. What I'm going to do is just share some general information about the college. And if you could activate my screen sharing, that would be great. General information about the college. And then we'll pass it off to Sara Reilly, who will get into the more specific information about majors and advising. Okay, so general information about the college. We're actually the oldest public institution in the state of Rhode Island. We have 5 schools. We actually started as a school of education solely and have expanded greatly since then. We do have 5 different schools. The majors discussed today will be focused in the Faculty of Arts and Sciences, which is one of our larger schools. It houses all of our fine and performing arts, our humanities majors, sciences as well. And I have some little tidbits about each of the individual schools. One of the highlights of our arts and sciences schools is our record of graduate school acceptances, nationally accredited programs, research opportunities for students, and we'll highlight it a little bit later on. Because of the makeup of our school, smaller graduate programs, we are able to provide opportunities for research and work with faculty who are undergraduates, which is excellent. If you haven't been to campus yet, I do invite you to come. We do have several different virtual tours. We have on-campus tours for Rhode Island residents only in smaller groups. And this is some of the highlights of buildings on campus. Now for communications majors, film and media majors, you're usually centered around a few different buildings. These in the top left are going to be our arts and sciences buildings, Gage Hall and Craig Lee Hall. We also have Whipple Hall on campus, which is the center of our communications program. And then some other newer buildings on campus, our School of Nursing and our School of Education. We've invested a lot of money lately to update our facilities with new technology, with spaces for students to gather and study. So trying to make it a more modern campus and more accommodating to our students who kind of want to hang out between classes and share creatively in groups. Majors on campus. Now relevant to the communication and media areas, we do have a couple of programs that we do offer. I've highlighted our new major in, or rather concentration within the communications major in journalism. We also have several different concentrations in that area and things like mass media, public relations, public and professional communications, speech and hearing sciences. Film studies is always a super popular program on campus. So there's a number of different majors related to the communication and media areas. We do have a number of different bachelor's to master's programs, which add on 1 year. They do require special admission, so they're not open to everyone, but these are the programs that we do currently offer to students. And we do have a couple of other master's programs in the communication and media areas as well. They wouldn't be bachelor's to master's, but they're generally 1.5 to 2 year programs. One of the things that we do tout at our institution is sort of meshing the in the classroom with the outside the classroom. As I mentioned earlier, we are a smaller graduate program, which means that we can offer out of classroom research opportunities, internship opportunities in great volume to undergraduates. Another highlight of that is that we do not have graduate teaching assistants. All courses are taught by faculty members without teaching assistants. And then another facet to that is that you do have what's called faculty advisors. So every student is paired up with a faculty member within their area of academic study. This is beneficial to students not just for selection of classes, but other things as well. Experience in the field, connecting with research opportunities, with internship opportunities, opportunities to kind of tailor your education using the knowledge that these experts in the field have. So helping you tailor your major with different courses to help center it around what you actually want to do with that degree. You have a number of different off-campus opportunities in study abroad and national student exchange, which is in the within the US and Canada. Study abroad would be outside of that. Internships available in academic majors, and then also through our Career Development Center, which offers a vast variety of resources for students, both as undergraduate students and even after graduation as alumni. They do offer online job and internship boards for students and alumni, and also pre-interview preparation. So things like job shadowing, resume review, preparing for your interviews, career counseling. These are all resources available and services available through our Career Development Center. Academic opportunities for students. These are academic scholarships available. I will say that the bulk of our financial aid is centered around need-based aid. About 80% of our students receive some sort of financial aid, but we do have a number of academic awards as well. For transfer students, we have a very limited number of presidential scholarships. This December 15th is actually the freshman deadline for transfer students. We're looking at February 1st for an application for the presidential scholarship. We do have alumni awards for children and grandchildren of RIC alumni. And transfer students are eligible for our honors program with a GPA of 3.5 or higher. Now, what that allows is smaller classes, opportunities to work with faculty on research, academic activities. You do have access to different conferences that are available to honors students. And then in addition to that, depending on your major, we do have several major-based academic awards once you establish a GPA in the department. And then talent awards available in fine and performing arts. Now, how to apply to RIC? I do have the first year slide here just so I can make a distinction between what a first year applicant and a transfer applicant is. The bar that we use is 24 credits. So although you will receive credit for any academic level college course you took with a grade of C or higher, that 24 distinguishes whether you are evaluated for admission based on your high school record or your college record. If you have fewer than 24 credits earned in college, we do ask for your high school information. So that would be high school transcripts, a school counselor recommendation, which we are flexible on the counselor recommendation. We'll also accept a teacher recommendation. And then our common application, which you can find at commonapp.org. For first year students, it does require a 250-word college essay. For transfer students, the essay is optional. And then with SAT scores, at least this year, we're being flexible with that as well because of the number of testing centers that have been closed. We do not require you to submit the SAT if you were unable to take it. Now, transfer students, as I mentioned, at least 24 credits earned in college and a minimum of a 2.0 GPA. Again, you fill out the common application, but you do not have to complete the essay or recommendation section. Those are optional. So an application for transfers would consist of that common application online. It does ask you to make the distinction between a first year and transfer student. It will be one of the first questions they ask you. Make sure you select the transfer application. Submit that, and then get us your official transcripts from all of your colleges. So regardless of whether you took one class, two classes, we do require transcripts from all colleges that you have attended. Application deadlines are listed here as well, December 15th for the January semester, and then June 1st for the fall semester. I do recommend applying well before these deadlines. It allows for a much smoother process as far as getting your application processed, giving you time to get those transcripts to us on a timely basis, for us to get a decision out to you, and for you to enroll with us, register for your orientation session. So I would say at least a month before the deadline, plan on filing an application for admission to allow that process to run smoothly. And obviously the sooner the better. As soon as you know you want to apply to RIC, I would suggest filing an application. Applications are open well before the deadlines. After acceptance, you'll obtain an acceptance packet through the mail with instructions on how to enroll online. After enrollment, what we did with orientation this past semester is we did have an online orientation. Whether we have it online or in person, you will be contacted by either mail or email, or probably even both. It is mandatory for all new students, and we find it really does help students with the transition from the 2 to 4 year school. For online orientation, it's a series of self-directed modules, and then following that, a major specific advising session where faculty advisors will help you register for classes. There are various other bells and whistles associated with it to help you get acclimated to campus, so information on student services, student activities, social aspect as well. So whether it be online or in person, that will be provided to you. And then you start classes. Now I'm going to pass the baton to Sarah, who's going to talk a little bit more specifically about the majors within this cluster.
Thank you, Lucy. So my name is Sara Reilly. I am an academic advisor in the Office of Academic Advising at Rhode Island College, and my primary role is a transfer advisor. So I work with community college Rhode Island students on their transition to Rhode Island College. So I'm going to share my screen with you today so I can show you the specific program offerings related to this communication, media, and film pathway. There are 2 ways that you can access our program information. I'm going to show you both. So method 1 is through the academics tab here at the top of the Rhode Island College homepage, and this is www.ric.edu. If you click on the academics tab, it'll open up under the degrees and programs section. You can click on majors and programs. This is an alphabetical list of all of our majors and programs at the college. And most of these are also available in minors. And there's also information at the bottom on other specific minors if you're interested in adding a minor to your program as well. So for purposes of this particular session, let's look at film studies as an example. For each program in each department, there will be a link to the department's webpage, as well as a little map icon to the right. So I'll start with a tour of this map icon. If you click on that, this is our academic advising guide, what we call the academic roadmap. It lists full major requirements, and then it gives you a semester by semester map of what courses you should think about taking for each semester. Now, the first page of all of these academic roadmaps cover the academic program requirements. It does not list the general education requirements, but just requirements in this instance for film. So you have the checklist there. From page 2 on is that semester map. So in your first semester, you should strongly consider taking these courses. This does include general education in this map. So this is a full academic map. What you should take in your second semester, third semester. Okay. Now, as transfer students, your map, your semester 1 at RIC might look a little different. Right? Depending on what courses you've taken at CCRI or any other college coursework, CLEP, AP credits, things like that. So this is a guideline. It's not a cemented requirement for each semester at RIC, but it does provide a helpful guide. What order should you be taking these courses in? Right? So you can take a look at each course suggestions for each semester on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, you'll see checkpoints. Right. So what this Film 116 course, well, this is a general education requirement as well. When should I have the math competency completed? When should I complete, my advising appointment? When should that take place with my advisor? So left-hand side suggests course order. Right-hand side gives you more information for academic checkpoints within that program. And again, this guide is simply that. It is a guide. Each student, especially transfer students, have their own path. But the important, most useful information for transfers is the first page of this map, which is a full checklist of academic requirements for the program. if we go back to the list, clicking on that link will take us to the department page. I would like to highlight that this page will be updated very shortly. I actually spoke to the chair, Dr. Vince Bollinger, yesterday. And last year, the Film Studies program was ranked one of the top 10 most affordable bachelor's degrees in film studies program in the nation. And I am proud to share with you today that they also have received the same recognition for 2020. So once again, the Film Studies program at Rhode Island College is ranked in the top 10 of most affordable film studies programs. I think another great thing about visiting the department's webpage is that you get a lot of extra information. All right, so there's program information like what requirements for the bachelor's, what about the minor, what courses, faculty members, right? So that academic information, but there's also little extras here. You can read about real life film students. Who are they? What are they doing? What kind of accomplishments have they done during their career and after their career? We have links to the Ocean State Film Society, right? Who are they? What are they doing? What are they all about? Various honors and scholarships that are available, kind of this philosophy of the program. So if you're wondering, should I go into communication? Should I go into film studies? It's really great to look at their learning goals, right? What is the outcome of the study of this program? The other really helpful bit is that Film Studies program has its own newsletter. So Dr. Bollinger will be posting the 2020 newsletter shortly. So the spring 2020 and fall 2020 newsletters will be up in the coming weeks. We spoke yesterday, as I said, so you will have the most up-to-date newsletter in the coming weeks. But this is just updates about what's going on in the program. So announcements about what the students are up to, events on campus, scholarship opportunities. So you can take a look back at all of the past activities and the past newsletters about, what are our faculty involved in? What are the students involved in? What's going on in this program? And that will allow you to gauge if this is a good fit for your study or not. So lots of great information on the department's webpage. Contact information on each department webpage will always be in the right corner, the top right. So Dr. Vince Bollinger, his email address is available here, as well as a direct phone number. Right now, email is the best way to reach faculty. And Dr. Bollinger is very quick to get back to students. You can also leave a message if no one is available to take your call at that time, and that voicemail box is checked daily. Someone will get back to you. So this is the Film Studies program. Now I mentioned I would also show you another way to get this information about academic programs. So to get to Film Studies, I showed you the Academics tab under Majors and Programs, and that brought us to an alphabetized list. You can also go in through the, where I go, it's the quickest way, Current Students tab. Under Academic Resources, the first link for academic advising. And in the sidebar for students, list of department chairs and program directors. Okay. So the reason why I like to point this one out is that if you're still thinking about communications, film, or maybe something else, this is a full list by school. Right? So it's divided into Faculty of Arts and Sciences, School of Social Work, School of Nursing, and so forth. Communications and film live within the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. It's another alphabetized list, but say you're considering like a minor. Say you wanted to minor in Africana Studies, you wanted more information about that. Right directly up front in this list, this is a contact list. So you have the program directors or the department chairs' names, as well as their email addresses. So this is a very quick, at a glance, contact info for more information. I strongly suggest reaching out to these program chairs, department chairs, just to get a feel for the program. Follow up with any questions that you have from this presentation. As you're looking through the department website, if there's something that interests you, you want more information, or you want clarification about something, reach out to these people. They are, welcoming and understand that the transfer process can be one in which that you'll need some guidance. Folks have questions, so they are happy to provide that guidance for you, as well as provide more information about their program. These are the experts in their field. They can give you, the best advice about what's going on and if it is a good fit for you. So if we go down to the communication department, you'll find the chair's information, Dr. Giselle Auger, the location in Whipple Hall, so that is the hub for communication. Phone number, contact, email contacts. You'll see under the communication program department, the communication program is listed. There are several concentrations within this program. As Lucy mentioned, one of our brandy new ones is journalism. Okay. But we also have concentrations in public and professional communication, public relations and advertising, speech, language, and hearing science, and media communication. Okay. So you can have a read through on the communication department's website for more information about each of these concentrations. You'll find general requirements about the program at the top here, but if you wanted to know the course requirements for each of the concentrations within communication, you can visit our college catalog linked through the department page, and you can see all of the courses required of journalism, all of the courses required for media communication. We do have a television production lab on campus. So that is the pride and joy of our communication faculty. We have a functioning and oft-utilized television studio, especially for our past orientations. We had a bunch of faculty, staff, and resources utilize our TV studio to record videos for orientation, to have that information in our online program for orientation, and they were communication students as well as faculty who run that TV studio. So you have real experiential learning, hands-on learning for that television studio for our media studies concentration. You'll see in this communication department, information they have in the sidebar here. What careers can I have for each concentration? So there's examples of careers and fields, pathways for each concentration, information about internships. So as Lucy mentioned, experiential learning is one of our, is something that we're trying to build here at the college and emphasize. It's not just classroom learning, so we have an internship form available for communication and information thereof. This also has a program goals section. So for each concentration, right? What are the outcomes of going through this degree? So you can match up the outcomes and these goals with your own desires for your degree and career. Information about specific scholarships available for communication students, information about what people have done, what are they doing, some really cool stuff going on there. Campus resources, as well as off-campus resources, groups, clubs, networks, activities. So lots of ways to participate in the campus community as a communication major. Now, you don't have to be a communication major. If you're a film studies major or whatever major, you can join. So we have Anchor TV. As I mentioned, that's our video production, TV production studio. We have a radio station on campus, WXIN, and you can visit their website if you'd like to listen in and see what they're all about. And we also have a student-run newspaper, The Anchor. So you can contact the faculty mentor for that, or you can check out, I believe we have some digital copies available on the website. Also major specific clubs and organizations there. So in addition to the academic programs we have in the communication department, as well as the film studies department, we have the clubs and student organizations that are also involved in communication, media, and film studies. So to reiterate, I would encourage you to reach out to the department chairs or program coordinators, faculty advisors for newspaper or radio to get a feel for what's going on at RIC and if it is a good fit for you in that particular program. But if you also have just some general questions about the college and academic programs, I'm going to show you my contact information. So as I mentioned, I'm an academic advisor in the Office of Academic Advising. That office lives in Oasis. So if you go to ric.edu/Oasis, you'll be brought to my office's page. You can click on the staff link to the right. It's in alphabetical order, so you'll find me towards the bottom. Here I am. Email is the best way to reach me. My email is sreilly@ric.edu. If you prefer to call, my phone number is 401-456-8193. It'll go to voicemail, but my voicemail goes directly to email, so I will follow up at your preferred method of contact. Just let me know what that is. And I usually get back to folks within 48 hours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And thank you, Lucy, for being with us today. We have just a few moments left. If any of the students have any questions, you can go ahead and take yourself off mute or put it in the chat. And while we're waiting for any questions to come in, Lucy, what would you suggest for a new student at CCRI, perhaps in their first or second semester, and they're now thinking perhaps they'd like to transfer to RIC? What should be the very first thing that they do?
Yeah, what I would say is always make contact with the four-year school as early as possible. When you're at the two-year school, when you're at CCRI, and Sarah would definitely be the contact for that. They can help you plan your semesters, making sure that you're taking courses that will apply to the four-year degree while you're completing your associates at CCRI. And Sarah, I don't know if you want to add to that.
Yes, so let me share my screen one more time. For students who are just at the beginning of their CCRI careers, we have something called a 2 and 2 program transfer plan. So we do not yet have one for film studies, but we do have for communication, at least one of the concentrations. What this is advising guides like those roadmaps I showed earlier. 2 years at CCRI, 2 years at Rhode Island College, what courses should be taken? So this particular 2 and 2 transfer plan is for media communication. So you'll receive an associate's degree in general studies if you follow this plan. So what gen ed courses should you select? What elective courses should you select? That'll get you your associates at CCRI, and they'll go directly towards gen ed courses at RIC, as well as communication media studies courses at Rhode Island College. You'll continue at part 2 of that plan, so that was that yellow map icon to the right of communication. Courses, 2 years of courses to be taken at Rhode Island College. You walk away with that Bachelor's of Communications and Media Communication concentration. So these are guided paths, advising guides for students early on in their careers so that there's no wasted time, no wasted credits. You're directly taking courses that will go towards the gen ed program and your intended program major at Rhode Island College. And we'll get you your degree at CCRI as well.
Thank you very much. Now, does that mean if I'm a student at CCRI and I'm close to the end of my associates already, that I can't transfer to RIC?
Absolutely not. So the transfer requirements, as Lucy mentioned, 24 credits, 2.0 GPA. If you are, at the end of your end of your road at CCRI, then you can speak with me or admissions and talk about transfer credit evaluation, and we can show you exactly what the courses that you've taken at CCRI will go towards, if they're general education credit, major credit, or elective credits.
Yeah.
If you do that on your own, we do have a website, ritransfers.org. And let me give you a brief tour of that site.
And while you're pulling that up, we do have a question in the chat. It says, does this meeting meet the JAA requirement? I'm a second-year student at CCRI seeking to attend RIC next fall.
So if you are a JAA student, why don't we connect? If you have specific questions or concerns about your program, either send me an email directly if you have questions, or you can email jaa@ric.edu with your questions. If you've already submitted your JAA Days form, then we have your questions on file. Thank you, Jessica. We have your questions on file and we will get to you shortly. This is not an official JAA meeting, but the JAA Days form will take the place of those questions that you have. But again, we're here, I'm here, send me an email and we can connect if you have a specific concern or question. So this is ritransfers.org. This is the transfer credit page where you can access how your courses are going to transfer. So you want to transfer to Rhode Island College, so you would select Rhode Island College from that list. And I use the search bar, but it's also alphabetized to look for CCRI. You would click on CCRI and find the course equivalencies here. Yeah, this is something you're welcome to do on your own, or you can connect with myself or the admissions office for transfer credit evaluation. And we'll tell you what course at CCRI comes over as what course at Rhode Island College. It's an alphabetized list, but you can also utilize the search bar and look for your courses that you've taken at CCRI there. And if you have any other institution credit, you can also go back to the institution list and have a look there.
Thank you very much, Sarah. And we have come to the end of our time here today. However, I would like to let students know and attendees know that you can learn more about the academic and career paths at CCRI at our webpage, ccri.edu/pathways. And also I'd like to encourage you to join us at the virtual job fair that will be hosted on Handshake Thursday, November 12th at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I'd also like to thank Sarah and Lucy from Rhode Island College for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And everyone have a great day.